Congratulations.
This begins my 28th year, and I appreciate the trust that the residents have put in me.
All right, well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Oh my gosh. And I'm looking forward to working with you over the next several years and all the trustees and the community of Brimfield. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be here today to be with you.
Good.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations. What's that? For which one?
We gotta add
Oh, okay. No, we'll add that when we get down to the, after we do the. No, we'll amend the agenda.
These people
We do have an amendment on the agenda to add an extension for the Union Road contract. I need someone to make a motion for that.
I'll make that motion to amend the agenda to add road department union contract extension.
Second for discussion. Okay, it should have been down there, passed along to everybody, so we should have it. We just didn't get to the finish line with them yet, so we're gonna have to extend it. Okay. All those in favor, Mike? Yes. Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed. Okay, we do need to name a board chairman, so I'm gonna need a nomination for board chairman.
I nominate Sue Fields to be board chairman.
And I decline that nomination.
Okay. Any other nominations?
Yes, I would like to nominate Mike Kosinski.
Second?
Second.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Oh, okay. And the reason I declined the nomination is that I have a real full plate that I'm working with, and that I just didn't want to take on that extra.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike? Yeah. Sue? Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed. At this point, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Mike. Congratulations.
You guys really don't have to wait through all this. I know you guys all got busy schedules, so
Oh, give Pat some donuts for you. Oh, yeah.
yeah, thank you for coming. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, I'm gonna make a motion that we name Sue Fields as vice chairman again.
I will second.
One of those, are you okay doing that, or?
Yeah, everybody.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yeah.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Well, I'm going to make a motion that I think Nick's done a very good job in the police department, so to nominate Nick for the liaison
Second.
discussion. I mean, you know how I feel about liaisons. I think we're all aboard and we work across the lines because it's, I think, personally, I think liaisons are a thing of the past, but until we change it, you know, that's just how we are. So,
All those in favor, Mike?
yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, so I'm going to make another motion that we appoint Nick Coya as liaison to the fire department.
Second.
I'm doing this because I do know your schedule's pretty busy, so nothing against you and the fire department, I just think Nick and,
Well, you know, with the fire department, I've been the liaison for the fire department for 27 years. And my goal was to see a new fire department, and I see it. And in my opinion, I think that my goal has been achieved. And so I know quite well that Nick and Mike and Craig, they work well together, and I would just like to see that continue on.
okay. Yeah, Nick, you're okay with that?
Yeah, that works for me.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
So you want to look on the next one?
Yes, I make a motion to appoint Mike Kaczynski to the road department.
I will second that.
Okay, for discussion, I just gotta work with Dave, we gotta get a facility constructed. We keep backing off this, and I know Dave, you're so busy with other things, but I think this is the year we gotta think about the road department and secure those. So, with that, yeah, definitely, like to keep working with the road department.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike?
Yeah.
Sue?
Yes,
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Mike Kaczynski for Parks and Recs department.
I will second that.
Okay, I'd love to keep working with them. They're quite a vibrant group, now with Holly on board. He's definitely getting vibrant. I think you're gonna have some big steps this year. So, I'm glad we do it.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes,
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we appoint Sue as the cemetery liaison.
You skipped the motion. According to the agenda, there was motion 2024-07 IT department.
And flip on over.
I was just going off the agenda that Holly gave us.
What does he have? I don't know what he has.
No, so, mine says it's the cemetery section.
I don't know what that is that you have.
This is last year's.
Oh.
Minutes.
Holly made
So we were just following the same.
If you don't know where the agenda is.
You have a copy?
I passed them out.
right there.
Man,
Full of shot series. Okay, then I will rescind that motion, so we go in order. I'm gonna make a motion that for appointments in the IT department liaison. I don't know who,
I would like to have a discussion on that.
Okay, we'll second it.
Discussion.
okay, go ahead and second.
Who was the motion for the?
It wasn't, I
IT
wanted to
liaison.
discuss it first. In discussion,
Well, we probably have to make a motion for somebody.
we do. So Mike, we didn't name it yet.
Is this a new one that we didn't?
No, there was IT admin, was all tied together
So
before.
now we're pulling it out?
And then last year we pulled it out.
So who was it? Do you
It
remember?
was me last year because it was just part of the admin and the IT.
Okay,
okay,
yeah, well then I'll make a motion that we go ahead and appoint Sue Fields as IT department liaison.
Second. You want to discuss it?
yeah, I want to discuss it. I've given a lot of thought to what I would like to be involved with. And the IT, I didn't realize it was separate, but I would like consideration for the admin and the IT. And under admin, that would also include the phase 2 of the fire department.
Administrative.
Yeah, the administrative, so I would like, since it's separate, but
Okay.
anyway, that's my thoughts on that.
On this agenda, we didn't have one for admin. It's just all broken out, but,
We had removed the admin because we really didn't have anybody reporting as an admin liaison. Because our new business manager was reporting directly to the board of trustees.
that's correct. And then the fiscal office steps under me anyway, so that wouldn't, we don't need to have that.
We used to have an admin liaison because IT, HR, there was one other that we reported to the admin liaison.
All right.
The zoning head was a separate vote,
Okay,
yes.
so maybe just, Okay, well, let's go ahead and get this one voted on.
You don't have someone.
All those in favor, Mike? Yes. Sue?
Yes,
Nick?
Yes.
That'd be a mess.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we appoint Sue Fields to economic development and zoning department liaison.
You skipped the cemetery liaison.
I'm just going through the list.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, number 8 is cemetery, or did you change that?
Number
What do you
9.
have?
Number
The one
9.
from the website that you put up.
I made edits this morning.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
So are we good?
Yeah, she changed it from last night. I printed it last night.
Okay.
How many agendas do we have?
Okay,
Just
fine,
one.
so you got that, John?
It's okay.
I got, so,
I will second.
so who did IT?
Any discussion? I think you've done a great job, Sue, you've been, involved in economic development and zoning.
Okay.
Mike, I appreciate your help.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, number 9, appointment of cemetery.
I'm so distracted.
Gotcha.
No.
You gonna make a motion where I had before that we appoint Sue Fields as cemetery liaison.
And I'll second that.
Any discussion?
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Well, you know, on the past, that's good, but the, last year, we purchased 5 acres to expand the cemetery. And we also set up a meeting like once every 3 months for the cemetery so that other people would realize would know what was going on and things that needed to be done. And, right now, Jendi is doing the cemetery work. And so as a committee, we can kind of help spread that because she's just overwhelmed with all her other job duties. So we want to work with that too.
I know one of the things too that we have on our agenda early is to fill the other position in the admin department to do
Yeah.
that, so. Okay.
Okay. Okay, John.
Well, if we have
Did we vote?
we didn't have we did vote, I thought. I'll vote again. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed. The next one, I'm not sure. We just do this kind of monthly, number 10 with the cemetery board meeting.
We're quarterly now, right, Sue? Quarterly cemetery meetings?
Yes.
Are they public meetings?
No,
Yeah.
they are not.
They're not, okay. That's
We
good.
don't even need that.
I didn't know
I'm
if they're a board though, is it a public meeting as a board?
Well, I don't care if it's a public meeting, anybody's welcome. On those cemetery meetings, we need to have one in January to get the footprint for Memorial Day celebration.
So listen.
Okay, yeah.
So do we need a motion to set a cemetery board schedule because it's a public meeting, or if it's not a public meeting, then we don't need a motion on the floor?
Well, it's not, it comes to you. It's actually comes to the board. Our discussions in that meeting come to the board to get approved. So that wouldn't be a public meeting. You guys would be voting on.
Okay, because I know, like, if you look at city
Okay.
council, they have subcommittee meetings, and those are public meetings that are posted.
Yes, I consider this a subcommittee meeting.
I don't know. I mean, we don't vote on anything in there. We
No.
vote on what to bring, not vote, but we discuss on what to bring to the board to vote on.
Right.
So ours doesn't have any final say. You guys would have the final say as the board.
Right,
So I'm not sure. What do you think?
I like that. Because I would want everybody to know.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to who all's in attendance. You're gonna have more than 2 elected officials in the room. If you had a second
No.
trustee show up.
I'm the only
And then
elected official
It's
there.
me, Sue, Holly, and then Jen
Jen.
until the new Dave shows up every once in a while too.
Right.
Um,
So they could be business meetings. Because it was on here, that's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, then you wouldn't need a motion for it.
I don't even remember us making motions for this.
we- no.
Yeah.
So we're not doing it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Just remove it from the agenda.
What?
I think we should just remove it since it doesn't need approval.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll rescind the motion. I'll make a motion to remove that from the agenda.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, before we go on to approval of legal counsel and all of that, I would like to have a discussion about the Kent Jed.
That's
I don't
the,
thi-
it's on here.
It's on there, so we.
It is?
Yep, it's number 23.
Oh, under
Let's just
that.
stick with the.
I just didn't look down far enough. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve legal counsel to consisting of Greg Beck, Chad Murdoch, and D. Murdoch Associates as legal counsel. And it says human resource contact. Remember, we have human resource now, so.
Well, we need to slash that, but you also need to put Zash and Rich in there for the
Do
PD,
what?
just so we can do it all at the same time. Zash and Rich.
It's in there.
I know, but I don't think you said that, did you?
No,
Okay.
Tom, so
So
we're
Greg, Chad, Deemer Associates, and Zash and Rich for the
legal
PD.
counsel for police
Yeah.
department as needed.
Second.
Any discussion?
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, and then I'm going to make a motion that we retain Chase as a 2024 Township Financial Institute. Need a second?
Second.
John, you're good with
Aye.
Chase?
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that we approve the administrative office hours Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Office located at 4121 State Route 43, but that will be changing
Well, until we move across the street.
until we move.
I will second that motion.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
This one I have a hard time doing, making a motion that we retain the record couriers of the Township Public Notice Avenue.
Second.
I just, and now we got the portager out there, which seems to have more than the record courier. I don't know. I mean, how many in this world read a newspaper?
I'd like to see the state legislature eventually change this where maybe we can use our website as our ability, because everybody checks our website. They don't check the newspaper for public listings.
And to get the young kids, you're gonna have to put it on TikTok.
Right. But it's just so, I mean, everybody comes to our website to see when the meetings are, when emergency meetings are held. It just costs the township a lot of money every year to pay the record courier to post all these legal notices for every
Nobody
change.
reads. But if we did TikTok and a dance with a good song, we'd get some views.
We get more people. But yeah, no, I'd like to see
You
us be
might
able to
wanna
use
do
our
that in
website.
your election, Dale. Yeah, get Frank dancing with you, that'll. For your election.
Okay, so at this point, we're just gonna retain record courier.
Yeah.
Sue, you second that. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, who's our representative to Portage Development Board?
That is Mike Ladd and Jendi Miller.
Who?
Mike Ladd and his alternate was Jendi Miller last year.
Last year?
No.
Sorry, no, it was Lauren last year.
Yeah.
Okay. And I also go to that.
Okay, well then, there's no reason we couldn't have a trustee on there. So I guess I'll make a motion to,
Well, it's gonna be Mike and then Jenny. So, I mean, I know Sue goes, but I would just think though that if those two couldn't attend, then we'd have to cancel that meeting for that period of time.
okay,
I wouldn't want you to be the third one on the list.
Yeah, so Mike is the primary. If he doesn't attend, Jendi would be attending to speak in his behalf. Then the trustees could attend if they wanted to, but these were the board appointees.
But if Jenny's not available as the second person, then the meeting just gets canceled.
Okay, I need to have a discussion on this, right?
okay, well, I gotta make a motion in
Okay.
positive sense for somebody.
Make it positive.
I'll make a motion that we put Sue Fields on the Portage Development Board.
Well, we're assigning representation to the Portage
It says
Development.
representatives to the Portage County Development Board, so Mike would be it no matter what, and then we're looking at who the second person will
Well, Jenny would be the second person.
Well, no, we can't, and I'll explain that to you.
Okay.
be. Okay, so I just need a second,
Second,
so you can discuss.
now I explain it.
Okay,
3 years ago, I had a discussion with Diana Farrell. And at that time, the other gal was there.
Lauren?
It was before, yeah, she was there. And Diana Farrell told me that she is a secretary and that we should have a trustee represent and not a secretary. And that's what I ran in. That's just what they said, and then that's why I went.
I was just looking at our past from 2021, 22, and 23. It's always been Mike Ladd and his secretary just being there in case he was ill and wasn't able to attend the meeting. You're not assigning two representatives to act on behalf of the board. a single member is acting on behalf of the board.
I mean,
Well, I'll just go and crash it. Don't worry
well,
about
I mean, I'm good either way. I just,
Well,
I mean,
and
if, are there other trustees on this board?
it. Brimfield was the only trustee on this board for the whole county because we are the largest and of the trustees. We're the movers and the shakers.
I think it's always nice to have a board member on it. I mean, Mike's not gonna be sick very often either.
I'm just thinking, and I don't mean this to sound wrong at all, but let's say it was today and Mike and Jenny both came down with something and now all of a sudden there's a big program that they're going through and
Well, then I
you
would
haven't
go.
been involved though in the last program that they were doing.
Right.
I wouldn't want to put you in a spot where now you need to act on their behalf and you haven't even been involved in that
But
because
she's
you're off
going to
doing
all the
something else.
meetings.
Well, I understand, but I just didn't want to put you in that spot.
They've never told me not to come.
No, I wouldn't say that you could go. You can go.
Well,
I just would have I would think if Mike and Jenny weren't there though,
Yeah,
that we would cancel the meeting.
for our participation in the meeting.
Right.
She could bring Jenny along.
But what happens if Jenny's sick and Mike's sick? Now we don't have either one of them that are working with it on a daily basis at this meeting. I just,
think we're
Well, they
arguing
meet,
about
what,
a
once
whole
every-
bunch of
every
I'm not
four
arguing. I
months?
just don't want to put her in a bad
You're only
spot.
talking about 4 meetings a year.
Yeah, normally you designate a member and then an alternate
Right.
Correct.
to act. Now, the board, because we're board of commissioners, all 3 of us are members, but I'm the only one on the executive team. I'm actually the vice chair of the development board. So, you can pick who you want. I know Mike comes and I see Sue there, so maybe make Sue the member, Mike the alternate, or vice versa. But we just need a member to represent and then an alternate if that member is not available, so
Correct.
you don't care who it is.
Well, Mike, in my opinion, Mike should be the primary.
Oh, definitely Mike Ladd would be the.
Right.
Well, then let's just name Sue and then you bring Jenny with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that motion. Do I already made the motion?
You okay with that?
Well, we made Mike Ladd as the Board of Development Board and then named Sue as the alternate? Is that what you wanted?
Yes, we would like to have a trustee on there, so. that would be good.
From the words of a commissioner.
No, I'm the vice chair of the board. I've got a different hat on.
So we moved to assign Mike Ladd as the rep to the Portage County Development Board and Sue Field as his alternate. Correct? Is that your motion? Yep. Sue, are you seconding that?
Yes.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, so approve the temporary budget for 2024 as submitted. I have not seen it. Do we have
What
one?
hasn't been submitted, just that it's the cash balance from
Oh, you're just,
12/31.
okay.
So now we're
What is the cash
temporary,
balance?
here it is. It's temporary appropriations from now until we get the budget submitted to you guys. So we just go off of what the balance was in the funds at this point.
Okay, I'll need a second.
Second.
Hey, have you
So-
heard anything about this thing that someone was telling us that we might not be getting our money early? Wasn't that you, Nick?
Yeah, they brought up the Township Association. I don't have the notes with me. There was a House bill that was sitting that might, House and Senate bill that might delay that. I haven't heard any more from OTA on it though. So the Ohio Township Association Director is the one who brought it up, said that there may be a delay in funds because of a bill that was sitting on the
Has
floor.
Matt said anything to you?
So at the OTA
Do
meeting,
you know what?
We have we have a lot of bills, we have almost 300 bills pending in the house, and that's here to meet the,
I don't think I have the notes with me from that meeting.
I can probably tell you.
Yeah, I can get it for you,
Are they
Gail,
trying
and
to
send it to
gig
you.
townships again?
Are they trying to what?
Are they trying to gig townships again?
Just as an FYI, from that perspective, at this point right now, and I know it's not been that way in the past, but if we didn't get our draw right now, we would be okay. An early draw.
That's a fine
So
budget you have to.
I'm just saying that's as of this year, so
I'll get you the bill number. I don't know.
Take the credit.
Yeah.
Because OTA was watching it. They said it might delay funds by 3 months.
Okay, I just have to know if it's on committee and things. I didn't follow the bills that are going on.
3 months.
3 months.
Oh, it's just not an early advance, so we're shutting down then when we don't have any money? That's crazy.
That was OTA's
That was in
concern.
charge of that.
It was how it dealt with, if it passed, how they would collect, it would delay the collection and then delay the disbursement. There was like a whole trickle down effect that OTA was worried about for townships.
Well, the county will lend us money, 0%.
Yeah, that hasn't come up for a floor vote yet, or I would have been contacted once we talked about what was
Okay.
the next.
Yeah, the OTA director from Columbus was wanting all the townships to be aware and to watch it.
Okay, I was gonna say, this would be the committee process.
Kept you up at night.
Did they have any reason, Nick, why they would do that?
I don't remember the whole process. It was changing, it had a big change to do with one of the tax collections, and I can't recall off the top of my head.
That would be a joke if that was done. That's my opinion, I'm sorry.
You know what, I think it's House Bill 33. I got the Ohio Township Association, and they give like a legislative alert. It
Right.
says House Bill 33, state operating budget, and it goes on about the townships, and how they increase the $25,000 level for competitive bidding thresholds, and that, there's a slight increase, obviously, to the local government fund, like 10%.
Right.
So their point, just so I hear it, their point wasn't just the advances that we were getting. It was saying, all right, we would have got our draw on July 1st, but now we might get it in October. Is that?
Yeah, there was gonna be a delay on the draw if it passed, but I think don't quote me on this, I gotta look back at my notes because I don't have them with me. But I think it had to pass by the end of the year because this had to do with beginning of year tax collection.
Okay.
So we should be good for 2024 now, but the question is, does it happen in 25?
All right, we'll check that out. and we'll
Yep,
get with
I'll
that.
I'll send it over to you. I don't remember if it was a House bill or a Senate bill. I just remember
Okay.
he brought it up. I had it in my notes for the meeting 2
Yeah,
meetings
I'll be
ago.
happy to review that and get back to you on it.
Thank you.
All right.
So we have a motion to approve the temporary budget for 2024. John, I have not seen the cash balances for 20.
I can get them out today. We just didn't print it out since it was Sunday.
Yeah.
I can print those off and give them to you right away.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to see
I'd love
those.
them.
So we have a motion on the floor to approve the temporary budget for 2024 using 2023 final fund balances. You guys want to pass that? Are you good with that?
Yep.
Okay. Mike made that motion, Nick seconded. All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Abstain because I haven't seen the numbers.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed. Yeah, if you want to come by the
So you'll
office,
have
we'll
all-
print it off for
All the
you.
carryover and stuff will be in there.
Can you just have,
Not carryover, just the
Just
fund
what we
balance.
have now at the end of the year.
can you have Kirsten just email them to me?
Yes. Kirsten, can you email all those to everyone? Thanks. Okay, motion passed.
Okay. To make a motion that we approve the federal standards for the year 2024 for the holiday closing.
So moved.
It's a leap year this year, just so you know. That's why Christmas went to Wednesday. So this is the updated schedule.
What about the June 13th, whatever, it's
Juneteenth is out there.
where,
June 19th.
on the 19th? Is that what it is?
Mhm.
Right, okay, yeah, I see, okay.
Okay, so Sue made the motion, I need a second.
Second.
Any comments, Mike?
No,
All those in favor, Mike,
yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, a motion to pay the township trustees and fiscal officers as determined by the 2024 annual budget per the ORC.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes,
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
so they approved a huge increase for us?
No,
Okay.
we're delaying it 6 months.
Okay. I'm also going to make a motion that we approve the IRS standard for mileage reimbursement 2024, which is 67 cents per mile driven for business use. Is that an increase? I can't remember.
It
It is.
What was it before?
55.
65.
65?
At the end of the year, it was 55 to start out last year, I think is what it was.
Was it?
Yeah, it's gone up a bunch.
Okay,
Second that.
any discussion? Nick, Sue?
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed. Kirsten just forwarded all those to you guys, so you have them.
Okay.
Current mileage is 65.5 for
At the end.
2023.
Okay.
Just as an FYI, going to the fund balances that got reported to you, we have 4.15628 million dollars in our account as of the 31st.
What was it exactly last year?
No, it's less than that.
What you pop your brain cells.
Yeah.
Okay, now, I'm going to make a motion to approve the 2024 trustee meeting schedule, which is reflected
Thank you.
on all of this. Okay, I need a second.
Second.
Discussion?
I know there will be.
So if you can hand one of these packets down, one for you, one for Mike, one for John. And here's one for you also. I propose that we amend the motion to have one morning meeting, one afternoon meeting. As you can see stated here in the documentation, here's the 2023 Portage County Public Meetings record for the cities. Out of all the cities, Aurora, Kent, Ravenna, Streetsboro, and Talmadge, because they're considered part of, in essence, part of Portage County, 100% of those have all their meetings after 5 p.m. 100% of those have them after 6 p.m. and 80% have after 7 p.m. If you look at villages, Garrettsville, Hiram, Manaway, Mogador, Sugarbush Knolls, and Wyndham, 100% of them meet after 5 p.m., 83% meet after 6 p.m., and 50% meet after 5 p.m. You can see the days that they meet, the times they meet, and then there's the source link. I'll send this out as a also file. On the following pages is a listing of all the townships in Portage County. Depending on how you read this data here, 94% meet after 5 p.m. with one of the townships, excluding Brimfield Township, holds an every other morning meeting, equating to 89% of the townships meeting after 5 p.m. Subsequently, 77% meet after 6 p.m., 72% after 6 p.m. if you include Suffield's morning meeting in there, and 55% meet after 7 p.m. or 50% if you include Suffield. Lastly, I've included a report from PRB, who did a study on workers in the United States, the hours they work and the times that they're available. This study from PRB is based upon census data. It goes into a whole plethora of information with impacts on society, finances, those pieces. But rhythm and work activity, they found in their study, is that most of U.S. workers, approximately 75%, start their workday in the hour span between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m., yet only 1 in 11 workers report much earlier, meaning that 75% of our population in our township are unavailable to attend public meetings without taking time off from work. So I'm asking the board to reconsider this and to move the meetings to a 8 a.m. meeting and then a 7 p.m. meeting every other meeting, based upon the statistical data of neighboring political entities and the research done by the Census Bureau.
Can I get a second for discussion?
Second, well, I already made the motion, so I need.
Well, I thought Nick made it.
So yeah, I'm asking for a second for an amendment to the motion to change them from every meeting at 8 a.m. to every other meeting, 8 a.m., 7 p.m.
So you're seconding Nick's motion that he put out there for discussion.
I'm not going to second this because these are cities and villages listed.
The second page shows townships also. If you go to the second, third, fourth, and fifth page, those are all the townships. As I stated, 94% of townships,
I'm looking for my township thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I see what it is.
94% of townships meet after
Oh,
5
these-
p.m.
all of this. Okay, well, I'm still not going to second it. The reason I'm not going to second this is that when this happens at 8 o'clock in the morning, our attendees here are all on the clock. If this were to be in the evening, when the shift ends at 4 o'clock, then anybody that comes from the township that's an employee, we would be paying overtime. We'd be paying them for their hours to come to the meeting. And another reason is that at 8 o'clock, it's over by 9, and my whole day is free after that to do everything else I need to do.
I would, to interrupt there, Holly, I believe your salary? Salary? So that statement is incorrect. on
Oh,
the
for
board
being
below.
paid overtime?
Correct. They're all salary. There is no overtime. Second of all, it is not our job to make our lives free. It's our job to make our availability to our constituents and be available for them to attend. That was expressed by Hunter's Ridge, their frustration that they had to take vacation time to come talk about their signs, and other citizens have also made statements that it's hard for them to attend meetings without taking vacation time. I'm asking for every other meeting to be at 7 p.m.
Sabrina, when do you guys meet?
We meet at 9 o'clock, but this year we are gonna propose that once a quarter, I'm gonna propose that we have like either coffee with the commissioners so that we are available to constituents later, but our meetings are at 9. Sometimes.
So you don't do any official business, that's all, your official business is at 9.
Is at 9 a.m.
Right.
But if we have a situation where they can't come in at 9, we can also meet at 9, and maybe they can't come in until 1 or 2. We will recess and then reconvene when that meeting needs to be.
And I'm just looking at how other townships do it, but we're also the size of a city. And if you look at all their council members, they all meet in the evenings. The council members are very similar to trustees. Same thing with villages. Their councils are all meeting at that 6 p.m., 5 p.m. time frame.
I think our attendance is shot up since it was back in the day. John, do you remember?
All I remember is that nobody showed at their night meetings, but
And it's not so much about the number of people that are in the seats every day. It's about the opportunity for those that have concerns as citizens of our township, since we represent them, to have the ability to attend without additional hardships placed upon them.
Well, we are on that camera up there, that if anybody wants to listen in on our meetings or whatever, we offer that opportunity, which years ago, we didn't have that.
Yeah, how many of these people actually have YouTube videos?
I couldn't tell you. I didn't do that study. But beyond that, I mean, YouTube is great for looking back at historical data, but it's not a leading factor. It's not an ability for people to communicate, voice their opinions in person to the board. To do that, they're causing them to take time off work to attend those meetings. Am I saying numbers will be higher at meetings? No. What I'm saying is we're creating an opportunity for those who elected us to be able to be part of some local government.
I know you were trying to create opportunities back when you were having that open door policy for people to come and see you. I mean, are you still doing that, or is that done? Are you just?
My plan is to reopen that once
But back when you did it, did you have many people show up?
I had a couple here and there, but once again, it gave the opportunity for people if they chose to attend. It's about creating that opportunity. And my plan is to reopen that once the construction project's done. It's just too hard. I don't want to take all of our bookings out of the community room here every other week.
why don't we try to do 1 a quarter? Would you guys be willing to do 1 a quarter at night? I'm asking you and Sue.
Yeah, I could do 1 a quarter.
I could do 1 a quarter. That's why I want it every 3 months. That's 4 times a
I
year.
know this is something Nick's been passionate about, so I mean, I have no problem doing 1 a quarter.
Nick, is it compromise with that work for this year?
I mean, I still believe that I think every other week is how it should be for a fair disbursement to make it available. Because the problem with the quarterly ones, this was tried in this township before. There was 4 scheduled, 2 were held. 2 of them were canceled. So 50% was canceled, and we didn't, that doesn't create that fair opportunity for people to attend.
We do it at 7, I'll be in bed by 8. So.
We're gonna have a stalemate here if we don't compromise on
Right.
something.
I mean, I'm not
So Nick, I think we're not gonna get anybody a second, but if we did quarterly, I think you'd get a second and we could vote. So I don't know if you wanna revise your,
My motion stands as it sits because I believe it needs to be every other meeting. Speaking on behalf of the residents of Brimfield Township.
do I have a second? Okay, we did not get a second, so the motion will come off.
Okay, so now we gotta make a motion again to,
So you still have a motion sitting on the floor that wasn't asked for an amendment to the motion. I would like to say that it is sad based upon statistical evidence that we could not get that changed.
Okay, so the first one was then for the current meeting schedule, Mike, that you had out there. I didn't get a second for that. Sue, were you gonna second
I
the
need
second?
you to second.
She had seconded that, so the motion still
I
sits on the
didn't hear
floor.
her second, I'm sorry.
And I know you don't agree with me, Nick, but I think it's much more fluid for our township employees. I mean, I know you say, we worry about these citizens day in and day out, and just, you know.
I'm just trying to create an
I mean,
opportunity.
They are more than willing to meet me anytime, and I put it out there. And I can count on one hand how many people have called me. You know, my number's out there for everyone, even for the wackos. So, you know, it is what it is. Okay, the motion stands. John?
Yes, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Could you read that motion again?
I move to approve the 2024 trustee schedule as submitted.
Yes.
Nick,
No,
motion passed.
Okay, we might need to, we're looking at our numbers here. We have two motions, number 20. On Page 1, Township Trustee Meetings is number 20.
no, that's agenda item 20. It's motion 2024-020. And then the next one is 021.
It's just the numbers are wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
The motion number
I
is what
see two
matters.
20s there.
Yeah, the
That's
motion
just
number.
what matters, yeah.
Oh, this one here? Okay, we're all right.
So I'm going to make a motion to retain Mike Ladd as our Soil and Water Task Force member and Dave Rufner as the alternate.
Second.
Any discussion? Dave, you've done a great job, as has Mike.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, I am going to make a motion to appoint Holly Woods and retain Kirsten Mitchin as OBWC Safety Council member for 2024.
Second.
Any discussion, Nick?
No, that's, as long as we have people attending the meeting, they need to attend 10 out of 12 meetings a year for the rebate credit for our workers' compensation premiums.
Holly, you good with that? Okay, thank you.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, I am going to make a motion to retain Mike Ladd as representative to Regional Planning Board and Jenny Miller as alternate.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay. Now this is our time where we get to pick our JED rep. And for Ken Jed, I remember we tried doing it at one time, but then we had some discussion and we left it remain, but then I was made aware that they went ahead and voted without us at a JED meeting, which wasn't the way things are done. So, and I know with Sue, you're being really into all this stuff, so I'm gonna make a motion that we appoint Sue Fields as JED rep for 2024, for the term starting in 2024.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I would like to stay on that board as this would have been my second term on that board. I serve as their treasurer. That board has supported me through that. The vote wasn't to be out of order with the rest of the township. The vote was because they wanted to create their agenda for 2024. They asked me to continue being their treasurer. I think that's a word of support from that JED board. They had not asked for somebody else to step into that role. I've served that role diligently without any problems. Continued to report back all the finances and the information to our board. I believe I've served that role well. I have one term available to me. After that, I would term out, and I'm asking that the board consider keeping me on that board. I believe I represent our board well. I believe I represent our community well in that role, and it's a piece that I enjoy working on as their treasurer. I see no need to remove me from that position or to appoint somebody new to that position over the next term.
Okay, in rebuttal of that, I am the liaison for the Economic Director and Zoning Inspector section. The Kent JED deals with economic development on the sector of 43, going north into Kent, and all other things in Brimfield that falls within that JED area. What I find, we made, I believe it was in March, a couple years ago, we had a discussion here in which Nick was on that. He was the economic director liaison. And at that time, he came to the board and said that he would like to be relieved of those responsibilities due to other job duties that he had with the Bureau of Workers' Comp, which is his employer. And at that time, we had a discussion, I believe it was in June, sometime in June, that he would continue on the JED board until his term was up, which ended December 31st of this year. And then it would go back to being, since that JED actually deals with our economic section, I think it's a closer relationship being with our economic director thing. And therefore, I would like to continue. Now, previous to Nick being on that board, I was treasurer of the Kent JED board. And what that consisted for me is that I would sign the paperwork and I would sign the checks that would pay the bills and also take in the income that came into that JED. So I think either one of us are qualified to do the job, and I think we both have done a good job in that position, but I think that tips over with the economic development portion.
In rebuttal to that, I would say, Mrs. Fields, that I did not agree in June that I would be relinquishing that position, that it would be a discussion point, but I hope to stay on that. And if the reasoning is that because you serve as the liaison to economic development, then we should be looking to appoint you to also the Talmadge JED coming in the near future. So you should be on both JED boards with that logic. Beyond that, we look at today's appointments, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sue's been assigned to 4 positions. I've been assigned to 2 positions within inside the township. This is, in my opinion, nothing but punitive towards me to remove me from that board because I have spoken my mind in this township and people don't like that. And I'm fine with that. I have no problem standing up for what is right. Removing me from this board and placing Mrs. Fields on the board, I think, is a detriment to our community. I don't think it's a good move. And I am asking again that the board retain me on that.
Well, I
So I'm
understand.
in the middle of the fight.
No, I just understand that Mike and Nick both have 40-hour week job plus
No, Mike doesn't
that they
anymore.
do. Don't you anymore? Okay.
And my schedule is flexible, and I have additional things coming down the pipeline that make that more flexible. My point is, I have the availability to attend those meetings, and it's a project I enjoy working on.
Mike, what do you think?
I don't know, just a lot of stuff I've heard that's come out of the board is the, I'm not saying who's saying it, but how we can't handle any more development. And I think you've heard that before too.
I've heard that before.
And that would only come from 2 people. And I believe in development because without these JEDs, we wouldn't be making any money. And I mean, just from the Talmadge JED, I mean, we roughly figured it, I think Chris Atkins did. We're getting well over $600,000 for the police, $600,000 for the fire, $600,000 for the roads. And you tell me we don't need development?
I think we need, I agree.
I do, I'm on the floor. I do know that our chief has said that he can't handle any more calls. But on the other hand, he's gonna be getting $600,000. I mean, that money was put in there to handle the extra calls and to handle the burden of taxation on our residents. So, I mean, we're 3 different members. We all make our own choices.
You're right.
And I mean, this liaison thing, like I told you before, I think is ridiculous, but we have to do it.
We do.
I mean, I am never once gonna tell Nick or Sue, don't you dare go talk to Cassie from the parks. You guys all know that. I mean, as a board, we work together. I mean, I just don't want one board member saying we don't need development. And when could be 2 other board members that say we need development. So, I mean, we have to have the clear representation of what the board wants, not just the opinion of one person or one employee. So, you know, I mean.
And let me clarify that for you. Number one, I have been spearheading a conversation with that JED board with the goals of launching this in 2024. Portage County and Kent have agreed to a study on 43 to figure out what the water and the sewer is going to be required and how that could be picked up to incur that development, to make that development happen. That has been a conversation between Commissioner Bennett, myself, and that board. Commissioner Bennett presented at the last meeting that this is something the county is willing to look into. And that has been my conversation, is to help spur that development down 43. And how do we do that? Our roadblock being water, sewer. How do we overcome those roadblocks? Well, the first piece is that study with the JED board and the commissioners and the townships, and bringing that forward once the study is completed. So I've been working hard to bring that development to those areas and have those conversations of how do we do it? And if there's a cost, what options exist so that this board and the city council can view that and make an informed decision about how best we finance that development of those areas.
Nick, I'm very glad you're doing that, you know, but I know you're well aware how hard Mike is trying to get this pushed through, and he's getting nothing but pushback from the city of Kent.
The city of Kent sat in that meeting. They want the study done. They want to see
Well,
what the
they
cost
need
is
to,
going to be.
because I mean, you as well as I know, the city of Kent's gonna be the one that's gonna benefit from this. I
Right.
mean, they're gonna have water customers for years, long after we're gone.
Well, and that's what they're evaluating as part of the study is, will Kent pick up the water? Will the county pick up the water? Where's that disbursament's going to be at? How do they handle it? And that's part of that
And
study.
I
and that's part
remember
of it.
back when, I mean, Chip probably remembers back when we were getting the Talmadge jet in. I mean, Talmadge was more than willing to run water and sewer down 43. You remember that? And look at, that's 20 years ago, and look where we are.
Right. Well, that's why we want the study. I mean, the study is the first piece that has to happen to make economic development happen in that area. And that's been that push for the past year with me with that board at the quarterly meetings is, are we going to do the study? We need to do the study. We need to figure out how we're going to make this happen. And that's where the county said they're interested in doing this in 2024. They had to get through some of the ARPA fund expenditures, the project they were working on. Now they can start working on this study piece. And so that's been a big project.
I mean, I understand, you know me and studies, I think they're a waste of time. But I mean, you look at the common sense numbers and stuff, I mean, the city of Kent is missing a historic opportunity.
Yeah, I think the study is more not, does it make sense? Everybody agrees it makes sense. It's which water systems can hold what will the pump stations need to look like, what will sewer look like to make that happen. You have to tie into all those
The
pieces.
Sunny Hill water thing has enough water, enough capacity to do a lot. And it's there, it sits. Talmadge controls it, and they would work a deal. Maybe when you do talk to them, I mean, I don't know. It's just a historic opportunity they're missing.
Right. And that's it's just another project I've been working on, trying to help spur development within the side of our community.
Well, gladly, when I'm off the Talmadge board, you're welcome to step in. Because as of right now, when I'm done in 2 years, I'm done.
Well, I'd like
I'm not
to,
gonna make 28 years soon.
You're not.
yeah, I would like to retain on the Ken Jed board. I sit on no other boards other than the Board of Trustees at this point. So I'd like to.
You can have my board at Maplewood, culinary board.
I'm not a chef, so I can't fill in that piece.
I'm not really on any other boards either.
Well, Sue sits on the cemetery board. Sue sits on now the Portage County Development Board. Mike, you sit on the Talmadge Jed board. And I would be sitting on none of those boards.
Well, these boards that we sit on meet during the daytime.
Yep.
And I am on the Portage County Development Board. I'm on the Portage County Substance Abuse. I'm on the Portage County Land Bank and the Portage County Township Association. They meet in the evenings. And I'm on the Portage County Central Visitors Bureau.
So
And
there's a list right there of
Those are
boards
my-
that you're involved in, and I'm just asking to continue my serving on the Kent Jed board.
I'm a board of directors of Young at Heart that keeps us in with the.
No, no, you're not a voting member. What's your thoughts?
I'm not a voting member.
What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are that I look forward to the days when we have development down 43. I would hope that would come sooner than later. That's my thoughts on the whole, Jed, and I'm a little disappointed that it hasn't happened to this point yet. That's my thought.
And I mean, either way, whoever we nominate, it's not much of a hill, not more than a hill of beans, but I mean, maybe as a board, Nick and Sue, we need to be more aggressive with pushing your agenda for water down there.
Right. Well, and that's, we've been pushing, and it's a political game, it's a chess game, but getting the county to support the
But
study
when we have
was one of the
more,
big pieces.
when we have more power by doing something united from the board versus one trustee.
Right. Yeah, I think we need to, a letter of support would always help, but it was getting the county involved. The county is interested in the study. That was the last meeting, which is a big piece for us.
Well, I know we're all very close to the commissioners, and I just think maybe as your New Year, one of your New Year's resolutions, we start pushing this.
Yeah.
As a board. I mean, I just hate these bickering back and forth with agenda, with liaisons and all this stuff. I just never felt a big part of it. Because I don't care what you guys tell me, I'm gonna talk to whoever I want.
Yeah, and I have no problem talking to whoever either.
Right.
My concern is I enjoy working on that board. It's a piece that I enjoy working with. I think I've done a good job with
So
that
you
piece.
and Nick, take it all back. Whoever's standing, let us know. I'm always good with change.
I'm looking at it from an economic development. Right now at this time, statistically or percentage wise, as people saying that we are too developed, we have only developed not more than 5% of the area of Brimfield Township. We're trying to maintain to keep it all out there at 18 and between town region, because we have no water headed toward Kent. The Kendra company coming in, when they get done, they are looking to have approximately 600 employees, or we're looking at having more than 600 new families come to Brimfield. I'm also looking into affordable housing at the state level and getting some input there. And I tend to be quiet, and I don't tell everything I know. I don't want to start any rumors. And I try to give facts. And the facts is 43 is so underdeveloped. The Sheets filling station coming in have graciously said that they would be putting in sidewalks up along that front, which works to help part of with people getting on the bus up there. But there's a lot going on, a lot of good things happening, and I think I'm very knowledgeable now in economic development. I have a lot more to learn, and I just think that on this JED board that deals with economic development, and for development you have to be for it. You can't be on that board and be against development.
Right. And I'm not against it. I am for development. In fact, I'm the one who spearheaded and argued to this board the need for the land use plan and spending all the money on the land use plan development and helping our township grow so that we could have the development done in a sustainable way.
Before we vote on that.
Well, let's vote on this, and I'm gonna add another motion. Okay,
All right, all those in favor? The motion has moved to appoint Sue Fields, 2024 Kent JED representative, and continue through the end of the current term. All those in favor, Mike,
yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick.
No.
Okay, now
Motion
I want to
passed.
amend the motion, I want to amend the agenda. So for the
Talmadge JED.
Talmadge JED rep for 2024.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay, I'm gonna make a
Oh, wait,
mo.
all those in favor, Mike,
Okay, yes.
Sue,
You read your motion again, please.
move to amend the agenda to include
Yes.
Talmadge JED representative. All those in favor, Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, now I'm gonna make a motion that I would like to relinquish my seat on the Talmadge JED board with all the stuff I got coming up in the next year or two. And I would like to make a motion and I appoint Nick Koya as the rep for the Talmadge JED board to fill out my term.
Second.
Discussion. How long is left on your term?
I think 3 years.
Okay, I just out of curiosity, I wasn't sure when the last one was.
Like 3 years.
Okay.
Maybe 2. But you have the energy and you feel like jumping in with that, I would be fine with it.
I'd be fine with that.
Ready for a vote? I need a second on that, actually.
Sue second.
My hearing's going bad. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay. It's a good time, Nick, because the new mayor's coming in.
Right.
She's official and she's a good person for you to get to know, because with my intentions of probably not running the next term, and I know you have mentioned that you probably would run, so it would definitely be someone good for you to work up a relationship with. I mean, I think as a board, we all need to work up a relationship.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree.
She's a wonderful person.
Okay.
It's to our benefit that we all work together the best we can. And it's an opportunity. Nothing against Dave, but Dave was ready to retire.
I
She's
think
young and
he's got
aggressive.
45 years in service.
He was a firefighter before that. So. Okay, so now we have an executive session.
We have
No, we
the-
have to vote on the motion for the extension of
yes.
the contract.
Okay.
I can make that motion just so we can discuss. I make a motion that we extend the road department contract by 2 months until a new agreement is reached.
Second that.
This is just because we're still in contract negotiations, correct, Holly?
For 2 months?
That's what the agreement period is. Ends December 31st, would extend for 2 months or until the parties reach a new agreement. Are we okay with that as a board until we reach a new agreement?
I'm good with that. I mean, Holly, are we making any progress?
We are, before the holidays, we gave a counter proposal, and I requested some additional information, and then myself and the union rep being out, we just needed a little more time, so, I think we're close, but,
Never say never.
right.
Okay.
Hey, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed. Sorry about that, Steve.
Okay. Now we have an executive session for the police department. This day, January 2nd, 2024, trustee Mike Jasinski moved to convene an executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 121-22G for the purpose of considering the following matters. The promotion.
Promotion, and then just do a roll call. I need a second.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed. We are adjourned to executive session at 9:06. Okay. You got it? You both signed it.
Okay.
And go.
All
They
right, we're
want
live.
coffee things.
All right, out of executive session, based on our discussions, I'd like to make a motion to accept the promotion of Jerry Dumont to police sergeant effective Sunday, January 7th, 2024.
And I will second that. All those in favor, Mike? Yes. Sue?
Yes,
Nick.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Next, I'd like to make a motion to accept the promotion of Matthew Kennedy to police sergeant effective Sunday, January 7th, 2024.
I will second that also.
for discussion, since you're promoting them both on the same day, do you have to put in there a time element to say which one's first and which one's second in case you?
It's one.
Swear one in first will be.
And that's why we did the motions in the
Okay.
order and separated them.
All right,
All those in favor, Mike? Yes. Sue?
yes,
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed. Okay, if there's no other business before the board, I'm gonna make a motion, we end this meeting.
I'll second that.
All right, we are, all those in favor, Mike? Yes. Sue?
yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed, we're adjourned at 9:29. Everyone have a